Hello and welcome to the video for SAM 2013 projects, Excel 1. We get our SAM projects from the SAM website, which is sam.cengage.com, and you'll log in with your username. In my case, the account is Big Red. You will, of course, have your account. You're not going to log in as the Big Red account. And when you log into the SAM page, you start off with this calendar view. Go ahead and switch to the activity list view. And below the activity list, there is a list of options to select and deselect. And just make sure that projects is the only thing selected. You can turn off everything else. In particular, always available needs to be turned off because these projects do have due dates that you must submit them before, and always available will only show projects without due dates. So since there are due dates, you must have always available deselected. And you can see the list of the projects. Now yours may look slightly different. You may have the instructor name or you may have a semester associated with it, but somewhere you should be able to see the Excel 1 project. Select the Excel 1 project and it'll tell you that you have 5 attempts. That's great. Say start and you'll get the 1, 2, 3 process for completing any of these projects. All of the SAM projects are the same in that you have a start file to follow, you have instructions to follow, a start file that you edit, and you submit your work right here on the Browse and Submit button when you are done. So let's get the instruction file, which is a Word file. Pull open Word and I can see what we have going on there. I just clicked the Enable Editing button so that I get my ribbon here and I can see the work. I'm not going to make any changes to the instruction file. This is just the steps that I'm going to follow in completing this project. This project is called the Flex Cab Company project. It involves a taxi service from Ontario, and you can read the context here, and it's actually kind of neat. These projects that you're using with Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, these projects are showing you that it's not just about using a ribbon, but it's actually creating usable documents that will help you not only at your time at Western, but in your professional career outside of Western. Going back to the browser and doing Alt-Tab will allow you to switch between programs. Going back to the web browser, I also have to get number 2, the start file. And this is an Excel file because I'm working on Excel. And again, I will say open and it will pull up Excel for me. And I will say enable editing, which will make the ribbon active. And I can see my start file. The name of this file is sc_excel 2013 C1 P1A your name. In this case, Big Red is the sample I'm using, but you have a different name there, your name there, _1. If we go back and look at the instruction file, the Word file, Alt-Tab to go to the other program, it tells us that we're supposed to download SC Excel C1 P1A, your first last name _1, and we're going to end up renaming this as first last name _2. So let's do that now. I'm going to do a rename, which is under the File tab. These are our tabs across the top. I'm under the File tab, and I can do a Save As to rename. I'm going to save this on my computer. I'm going to save it on the desktop, and I'm going to change the name to be _2. Also, notice at the beginning here, I do not want it to say copy of. So I just want it to be SC. I'm not editing anything other than the name it gave me there. So SC_Excel, blah, 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 name _2. Now it does not have the file extension there. It's smart enough to know that this is an Excel file. So I don't have to type the .xlsx on the end of that. Going back to our Word document, it even tells us that, here's this hint. If you do not see the extension, the XLSX extension, then do not type it. It knows the extension. If it doesn't show you the extension, it knows the extension. And we're not changing it, so I did not type that XLSX at the end there. So with the file open, ensure that I have the right one, that I'm working on the correct file. I don't want to have somebody else's file accidentally because I might be on a machine that somebody else was using in a lab or sharing a machine or something. And the way I know I'm doing my correct file is 2 ways. I will see it in the file name itself, Big Red in case, you should have your name there. And also, down here in the bottom, there are tabs, and in the Documentation tab, in cell B6, there is your name there as well. If you do not have your name in cell B6, and if your name does not appear in the file name at the top, then you should stop delete this file, and go back and re-download a fresh, clean start file. If you submit somebody else's work, both you and the person's file who you submit will be subject to file sharing and the penalties described in the syllabus for that. So we know that's not going to happen when you have the correct names there. So take that caution, and makes it real easy to not make that mistake. Okay, so all we do is we work through the project step by step, and I'm going to do that for you in this video, and you can please follow along, and you can see what's going on. Step 1, open the project analysis worksheet and use the AutoFit to adjust the width of column A. So we're doing this first step. So I Alt-Tab to go to the project there, the pickup analysis. Is that what I said? The pickup analysis worksheet, and adjust the width of column A. So here's column A, and one of the things that you can do, and I clicked on the A to select the column, and I can manually resize column A to be as big or small as I want to. But the instructions say to AutoFit, and the way you AutoFit is you double-click to the right of the column. So right between A and B, I double-click, and it makes column A the largest size it needs to be to show everything, but without any wasted space. So I can read everything in column A, and I don't have any wasted space in column A. It auto-fits to the perfect size. A very nice little feature in Excel. Step 2, in cell A1, enter the text Flex Cab Company, and then merge. Let me do this one at a time. So in A1, I want to type in Flex Cab Company, and then merge A1 to E1 and center their content. So A1 to E1, those are the cells A1 to E1. I've selected those as a single range, and now I want to merge and center. Now it turns out that's actually very easy to do, because right here in the Home tab, there is a merge and center option, which I select, and now those selected cells A1 to E1 have become one large cell, and the contents are centered. Step 3, apply the heading 1 cell style to the merged cells A1, E1, and then change the font to Verdana. So heading 1 as the cell style. So cell styles, again, in the Home tab are right here, heading 1. So I'm applying that heading 1 to this, and I'm also changing the font, and these are alphabetical, so I can scroll down to the V font that we're using. It's a lot further down there. Okay, so we have the Verdana font on cell A1 to E1, that merged cells. Step 4, enter the text number of pickups in cell A2 and merge and center the contents A2 to E2. Number of pickups, that's a plural there. Number of pickups with an S. And then A2 to E2 is merged and centered. A2 to E2 is merged and centered. Bold the content of merged A2, E2, change the font size to 12 point, and change the color to gold accent 4 darker 50%. So bold, 12 point, gold accent 4 as the font color. So making sure I have the cell selected, I want to apply bold, which I can do by just clicking the B here in the Home tab. I want to make it 12 point. And I also want to change the font color to gold accent 4 darker 50. So here's my font color, and I can hover over that, and you notice that as I hover the mouse over this, the little window pops up that tells me font color. That's different than the one to the left, which is the fill color or the background color. So I select the font color, and there's an arrow just to the right of the font color, and by selecting it, I get this list of all these theme and standard colors. Now the theme colors are where we're choosing from. In this case, we're choosing the fourth one, accent 4, and we're choosing the 50%, which is right here in the middle. Which one was it? Sorry. Gold accent 4, darker 50%. Gold accent 4, darker 50% is at the bottom there. Okay, sorry. And now that is the font color for this number of pickups. It's also bold, and it's also 12 point. Clear the contents of cell F3. So column F, row 3 is right here, the 2016. I'm going to delete that by pressing the delete key. I also could have used the clear button up here and said clear all for the selected cell. Apply the accent 4 cell style to the range A3, E3. A3, E3 is that range. And for this range, it says to use the accent 4 cell style. So again, cell styles are in the home, styles, cell styles. And if I click on the drop-down arrow, the arrow to the right of that, I get the pop-up window, context window. And I want to do accent 3, I believe it was. Accent 3. Right. Oops, accent 4. Cell styles, accent 4. Okay. So now I have the accent 4, which for this particular theme is yellow. And we're not talking about themes just yet. But you can see that it's consistent with the other look and feel of this. We have kind of a yellow color on the rest of this chart. So it all fits very well. Enter the data shown in Table 1 into the range B8, E8. So B8 gets this value, C8, D8, and E8. So let's type these values in here and see. The best way to do this, 6694, 6747, 6402, 6698. In cell B9, create a formula that uses the sum function to calculate the total of the B4 to B8. So in B9, I want to calculate the total of B4 to B8, and it says to use the sum function. Right? Use the sum function to create that total. Now functions begin with an equal sign, and they have the keyword that we want to use, sum, and then it has parentheses, the range or the cells that we're wanting to include. So I can, with the left parenthesis pressed, I can just drag that range and get B4, B8. I also could have typed in B4, B8 right here in this window myself manually. So I could do it using the mouse or by typing it in. Be sure to include the closed parenthesis and press enter. And we have now this value that does the calculation for us. Excel is a wonderful, wonderful, powerful tool for doing these kinds of things for us. And as you know with Excel, if one of these values were to change, it would automatically change the sum there. That's not a constant, but it's a calculated value. Using the fill handle, I want to repeat this process. And I'm going to use it, repeat the sum function using the fill handle to copy it across the range C9 to E9. So I want to take what's here in B9 and I want to copy it from C9 to E9. And I'm doing this with the fill handle. Now let me show you what I did again. I'm going to undo that. The fill handle is this bottom right corner. You can see the little square in the bottom right of the cell. If I grab that square, I'm able to drag the across. So each one of these is now a sum function. See, that's the sum function. See, that's the sum function. So without having to type that sum function, I'm able to copy it across those using the fill handle. Very nice feature of Excel. Bold the text in the merged cells A12 to E12. So A12 to E12 is right here. A12 to E12, or it's a merged cell, and I want to bold. The instructions told us. Step 12. Apply the accent 4 style to A13, E13. And I'll use the correct accent 4 instead of accent 3. Cell styles, accent 4. Okay, that looks good. Change the tab color of the pickup analysis worksheet to standard orange, which is third column, first row in the standards part of the palette. So down here, the tab, pickup analysis, I want to change the tab color to be standard orange. So I right click on the tab, and you can't see it because it's off my little recording screen there, but there is a pop-up window that shows, oh goodness, this doesn't show up on the video very well. Let me change this real quick so you can see it on the video. Tab color, and I want to go from the standards palette. See, there's the theme colors, but this says standard orange. So go down to the standards color and select the third one, orange. Hover over it, and it says orange, so I know I have the right one. And now my pickup analysis tab has that orange color that we were wanting to have. Step 14, and we're almost finished. Select the 3D pie chart with the title On-Time Pickup Percentages in 2015 and move it to its own chart sheet. Then use the 2015 on-time percentages as the name of the new chart sheet. Change the style to 3D pie to style 6. So there's 3 steps in here. First of all, we want to select the chart and move it to its own chart sheet. So here's the chart. And you can tell within the chart I can select the labels, I can select the pie itself, I can select the title. If I just click into the white area here, I'm selecting the whole chart. You might notice that there's some things highlighted over here to the left. That's the data that is being used to generate this chart. Charts are another very nice feature of Excel. They allow us to visually look at the data, and there's a lot of powerful chart functionality here that you'll see in one of the later projects. But right now I have the chart selected. Now the other thing about selecting chart is if you look up here in our ribbon, we have some new things here. So after data review and view, there's now this chart tools that has 2 sub-items. And that's only visible if I have a chart selected. So if I come up here and click on just an empty cell, you'll notice that I don't have anything after data review and view. But clicking on the chart, I have data review, view, and design format. So I can do some tab options here that are chart specific. And these things only make sense to charts. Okay. So that's why they're only visible when I have a chart selected. Under the Design tab, on the far right of the Design tab is Move Chart. If I select Move Chart, I can move it to a new sheet, and I get to name this sheet whatever I want to. And the name for this, let me go back and look at it, is 2015 On-Time Percentages. So let's do 2015 On-Time Percentages. So now I still have my pickup analysis worksheet. I still have the original documentation worksheet, but I also have a third tab down here at the bottom that is the name I just gave it, 2015 on-time percentages, and it shows my chart. So very nice. So we have done the first part of this. We have selected the sheet and moved it to a new chart. We have used the name that they want us to use. Now I want to change the style to be a 3D pie chart style 6. So it's already a 3D pie chart, and I want to change the style to be style 6. So if I hover over these styles, you'll see a little pop-up telling me that's style 4 and that's style 5, and right here is style 6. And you can see that that 3D pie chart looks different than it does before. Actually, I think it looks a little cooler, so I like that. So I'm selecting that style that they want us to have. Okay, our last step. Switch back to the Pickup Analysis worksheet. Create a 3D pie chart based on the range A3 to B18, and then do the following. So let's go back to the Pickup Analysis. A3, oops, what was the range? A13 to B18, so A13. Now I'm going to press and hold the mouse, and as I'm holding the mouse, you can see that it's creating a range based on what I have selected. And it's A13 to E18, all right? A13 to E18, so B18. Try that again, A to B18. So I just have that range there. And now I'm going to do the following 3 things. I'm going to create a pie chart and then edit it in 3 ways. So a 3D pie chart. So with the data selected, go under Insert, go under Pie Chart, drop down on Pie Chart, and I can see a 3D pie chart. So I've created a 3D pie chart. Again, it's using the data that I just had selected. So these labels, downtown, north of downtown, south of downtown, those are appearing in my chart that I just created. And these data percentages, 60, 50, 23, 57, those numbers are appearing here as well. Now these add up to more than 100%, but they're all relatively the same. The 60% is a little bigger than 50%, and the 50% is about twice as big as the 23%, and so on. So those are all appearing. Now there's 3 things we want to do. Change the title to be On-Time Pickup Percentages in 2012. And yeah, I guess I could even try to do a little cheat, say a copy paste here, on-time percentages in 2012. I'm going to try to paste that here. Whoops. Do a Control V to paste. Move the 3D pie chart you just created to its own chart sheet. Name it 2012 on-time percentages. So I'm going to move this. Select Chart Tools, Design, Move. new sheet, name this sheet 2012 on-time percentages. So now I have a new tab down here, 2012 on-time percentages, and change the style to that style 6 that we liked. So again, style 6, I can see a little hover, it says style 6 there, and I've done that. All right, your workbook should now look like the figures in the following pages. So let's see if these look right. Is that what my pickup analysis tab looks like? There I see it in the Word document what it's supposed to see, and it looks like what it's supposed to look like, so that's good. Those look alike. Does my 2012 on-time percentages chart look like it's supposed to look? Yes, those look alike. And then finally, does the 2015 on-time percentages? Those look alike. So I feel like I've completed this project successfully. So what I'm supposed to do, the last part of my instructions, are to save your changes, close the workbook, exit Excel, and then upload your work. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to save, file, save. I'm saving my work. I also could have just clicked the little save icon there. I'm going to go ahead and close up Excel, and then I'm going to close the workbook, exit Excel, and then I'm going to go back to the website. So we'll go back to our website here. Remember, step 1 was the instruction, step 2 was the start file, step 3 is the assignment submission. I'm going to browse for this file, and there it is on my desktop, which is where I chose to save mine, so I know where to look for it. I see that it has the correct name, student name _2, so that's the file I want to submit, and it types that into the window for me, and I click the submit button. So now this file has been uploaded. It's made sure that it was had 3 green check marks. That's a good thing. I want to see my results, so I will go under reports, and I can see how I did. So here's the file that I just got through submitting. I want to download reports and files. And here's the work I did. And my score was 100 out of 100. Very good. So I don't have to make any changes. I won't always get 100 out of 100 on these videos because I'll make a silly mistake. And you probably won't always get 100 out of 100 on your first attempt. But if you do something wrong, what you'll see on this page is they have they allow us to go through and look at step by step each of the things that are being graded on the step with a little green check mark. And if something was wrong on one of your steps, you would have a red X there, and you would know what you need to change to upload again for the next submission. But 100 out of 100 is very, very good. Maximum number of points I can get for this, and I'm done with this particular project.